Hey guys, Bandit here, and welcome to my video where we review the top 5 luckiest Survivor players. This is an objective list, so certain things I define as lucky you may disagree with and instead consider other things luckier. So we're on the same page as well. This is including only one season the people have played in and not their entire legacy. Make sure to comment down below who you think I didn't add on this list to be as the luckiest contestants on their seasons, and potentially state why, but firstly I'll be getting into the special considerations for this list. 5-time immunity beasts like Mike, Tom, Colby, Terry, Ozzy and Brad were all considerations due to being considered to win immunity at certain points in their game to better their positioning. Individuals like Mike we know for a fact would have been voted out if they didn't win out at the end. But I don't think you can penalise someone and call them lucky because of immunity wins. Even though the challenges, especially more recently, are a bit more up in the air, generally resilience, hand-eye coordination and balance make up a good portion of the challenges, and if someone has them and uses them, I don't see a problem. Terry Dietz, however, in Panama did get a god idol which was busted and allowed him to make it long in the game, you may say. Shouldn't he be on the list? Well, it would be, but the final challenge was completely flawed and there was literally no way for his body type to win it. It favoured being light, and that's the only reason Danielle wins, and thus Terry is eliminated, so even though he was lucky and would probably make a top 10 list, he doesn't make this one. There's Dominic Abate, who found himself in hot water come the pre-merge, and even though I do value idol finds as lucky, he does have it as protection, at least if he ever does go to Tribal Council. After those first 3 rounds, and after he loses Morgan, he readjusts himself well and runs the game. Sure, he has Angela telling him everything which isn't in her best interest and can be argued to be lucky. But I think that's just a great testament to Dom's social skills and ability to convince Angela to side with him. There was Nick, who was greatly helped by the Pat medevac, and which people seem to think he would have went if they lost, but Davey has largely confirmed he would have been safe. Even then, for his immunity run at the end, all he really needed was the final 5-1 and debatably Davey not to win at final 6. Rick Devens had immunity wins, idols and edge of extinction, and although the edge helped him, it most definitely hurt him in regards to Chris Underwood returning. He found 3 idols, but a lot of people forget, unlike most people that need to chain idols in quick succession without immunity, Rick Devens had the necklace at several points in the game. With that, he can spend the entire day searching for the idol, and if he's unsuccessful, he has another day to search again. His immunity wins at 9, 8, 6, and 5 all helped him find his idols and increase the amount of days he had, thus allowing him to explore more of the island and have a higher probability of finding an idol. Not to mention he was definitely swap screwed, which harms his overall luck in relation to the others. He literally was not getting away from that War Dog Kelly and Lauren alliance whatsoever. And finally, DK Villain, DK Chillin, who won a nullifier to eliminate Janet, beat Lauren in fire, and got saved by outside relations in the game, such as Kelly. Again, lucky no doubt, but there are various things that he was unlucky with, such as the random Chelsea boot pre-swap, one of the worst pre-swap tribes imaginable for him, and probably the biggest one is he loses his goat in Dan at the final 6 due to a never-seen-before ejection. That being said, Dean would probably make final 6 on this list since he did get quite lucky. Robin Redemption Island was lucky to be the first 4th timer, as well as be on a tribe with people who assumed were not to be as strategic as other individuals in other seasons. But I think that's just a testament to Rob's great social and strategic ability. A lot of people forget Rob has a naturally strategic mindset for the game. This allowed him to dominate All-Stars and Heroes vs Villains until Tyson valued hot dogs over winning. Jenna handing Heidi immunity at the final 6 only for Rob to honour his word despite backstabbing everyone that season already. Was lucky, but again Jenna knew Rob didn't want her out at that point, and her 2 immunities at the end, people say luck. But I think there is some genuine skill to winning immunity challenges. Tony and Kagayan had a god idol and was lucky Trish followed him into oblivion. But Trish being by his side was really Tony's great social game, and the God Idol didn't even need played on this part, and he got a surprise final 2 which really hurt him. That's all the contenders in my eyes, but let's get into this. At number 5 we have Michelle, Fitzgerald and our co-wrong game. It's been revealed after the show that Michelle really hadn't the best relations on her beauty tribe, despite what things may seem, and with Caleb, Ty, Anna, and Julia, they formed a strong four. Her and Nick were on the outs, and with Nick providing easy-to-see strength, it's hard to see Michelle making it if the tribe don't win out like they do. The Caleb medevac helps her as well, as it buys her one more space in the game. Following on to the swap, if she is put into the position of Anna, she instantly loses like her. Come the merge then, Neil going and forcing Aubrey to work with her and getting rid of an eventual opposition and idol is good for her game as well. Through Aubrey convincing Ty to flip, it's the only way they actually managed to break the Ty, Jason, Scott, and somewhat Julia core that troubled them. The Joe medevac helps her an insane amount, meaning she gets another bye, and come the final four she fails to get out Aubrey, who beats Sydney in fire. She even goes into the final tribal council thinking that she ultimately loses against Aubrey. If Jason and Scott don't pose a strong opposition to Aubrey at the final tribal council, and Michelle doesn't have the ability to boot Neil before he can even pitch to the others why Aubrey should win, it could be a different story. So here she lies at number 5. At number 4 we have Christina Cha. Christina Cha from One World is a largely forgettable character, but is really someone that got lucky in many parts of that season. She irked individuals like Alicia on the tribe that had a substantial amount of power. This caused her to be established as an early boot, and she would have been the first voted out had Courtney not broke her wrist on the first challenge. Even if Nina goes on the first challenge, if they've actually managed to lose the challenge, Courtney isn't medically evacuated, and Christina somehow manages to survive, she still is very much at risk of going the following tribal council where Nina ultimately and eventually actually gets voted out. She furthermore is benefited from the men literally making the dumbest move ever, and one that has never been seen on the show up until that point, or ever since. They gave up tribal immunity despite winning it, which definitely helped Christina. From then on, she swapped onto a tribe with Alicia and Colton and is targeted, and through no work of her own, somehow the target is flipped onto Monica, and she goes instead. If Colton doesn't quit following that, her tribe probably lose, and she's voted out again. Because Colton quit, the females can actually pick off the men after getting everyone to vote out Jonas. Kim also contemplated working with her swap tribe come the merge again, which helps Christina, as if she chooses not to work with the women, then she's in the minority again. But I mean, that's a small nitpick since it was largely obvious it was actually in Kim's best interest to flip to the women. And to be honest, Christina would be higher on this list if her merge wasn't so normal. Sure, her pre-merge is one of the luckiest, no questions asked, but through the final 12-4 she was really in an okay position and had no luck except people seeing her as such a non-threat she shouldn't even be bothered to be targeted. She ultimately lies here at number 4. At number 3 is Yuk Wan and his Cook Islands game. Unlike Terry Dietz and Tony Vlachos, Yul is an individual who got a super idol and is actually on the list. And it's really for a couple reasons. Firstly, Candace and, for whatever reason, Penner going to the other tribe come mutiny helped them in the challenges. Due to each tribe only being able to have 4 people in the challenge, various challenges needed to be reworked. This included portions of putting more dependence on swimming than originally intended, which Alliance member Ozzy was the most dominant in by a mile. The bottle twist at the final 10 Parvati had to reveal, only for her tribe to have to vote out another member, greatly helped out too. With numbers 5-4, there are only 1 down-come merge rather than 6-3, where Yul's super idol has nowhere near the effect it would have. And yeah, let's go on to that super idol. With it, Yul was essentially guaranteed final 6 unless one of the opposing tribe wanted to lose a member burning his idol. Without the idol, he has no bargaining chip to scare Penner into flipping and causing the pagonging from 9-4. The final 4 challenge being the final challenge was unknown to the contestants and greatly hampered game plans of individuals such as Ozzy. If it's a final 2 like all 12 seasons have been up until that point, Ozzy probably wins immunity and takes Becky with him only to win the game. But because of that, Sundra is eliminated in fire and Yul makes it to the final 3. At number 2 we have Ben Drebergen and his Heroes vs Healers vs Hustlers game. Now early in the season nothing much really happened to Ben, and being in a dominant tribe in regards to challenges isn't necessarily lucky in my opinion. Especially since Ben was a strong contributor in challenges pre-merge. Come final 7, however, everything completely collapses. He finds an idol, and his one sole vote is the only one to send Lauren packing, indicating a real need for the hidden immunity idol and lack of social agency outside it. The final 6 he played his idol before the votes were read really was a poor play, I believe, and also was another tribal where he needed immunity to survive. At the final 5, he finds another. 3 hidden immunity idols in a row now, mind you, which is incredibly lucky. Many people have theorized idol locations have been rigged for Ben due to this incredible lucky spree time after time after time. Despite his immunity run at the final 4, he loses individual immunity to Chrissy, and there's the easy vote out, but a new twist no one has asked for is added, meaning 2 people at the final 4 get to go to fire. Ben then wins this fire-making competition, meaning his journey to the end has been finding 3 hidden immunity idols, one after another, and a surprise final 4 twist he can't even argue to have planned for. If number 1 wasn't so consistently lucky, then Ben would have their spot. But alas. At number 1 we have the Widow Leader, Parvati Shallow, and her Micronesia game. Now, did she play a good game in Micronesia? Yes. But an immense amount of luck took part in her ultimately succeeding in that season. Getting onto Micronesia was half the battle already, and it was lucky as Parvati was originally supposed to be passed over for Candace. She was originally supposed to have been on the season, however, due to going to medical school, that means she can't go on to Survivor, and thus Parvati is on the show yet again. The fair play quit, the first tribal, helps, as without that there is a strong consideration she is the first boot on her tribe. Penner, who is opposition to her being medically evacuated, and the Kathy quit allows her never to see tribal council until the merge, where she is further helped by the James medevac. Amanda finding a clutch hidden immunity idol last minute at the final 6 helps Parvati, and with the Alexis elimination and Amanda saying Parvati vicariously has more power in the game. Come the final 5, both due to Sari and Natalie's work, the biggest immunity threat is taken care of in Eric. Tricked and voted out. The surprise final 3 then helps Parvati, as has largely been assured Sari wins in a final 3 scenario with her, Amanda, and Parvati. Therefore, Amanda and Parvati get to sit at the final 2, and Parvati wins in a 5-3 vote. And that's why, through consistent luck of Micronesia, Parvati lies here at number 1 on this list. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Every view means so much, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments who you would like to have seen on this list, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more content on this channel. Thanks for watching. Anyway, I've been Bandit, and peace.